Since the early 2000s, the mainstream media has fronted the United States as the unrivaled leader in the race or world of military robotics. This is due to the many groundbreaking projects the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, has made since its inception. However, what if we told you that all of that is about to change? China has long been considered a second to the United States, but it appears history is about to be rewritten with China's recent release of the world's first army of robot dogs. How did they achieve this? Has China won the race? Let's find out. The never-ending race for dominance between US and China. In robotic combat, the race for dominance in technology between the US and China has been fierce. From the creation of unmanned vehicles to the creation of robots, the United States has always been a step ahead of its game. But with China's recent launch of the world's first army of robots, it seems the United States for the first time will have to take the back seat. We're about to show you one of the century's greatest breakthroughs, which this time is spearheaded by China, but before then, let's see how far China has come in this race. In 2003, to help food soldiers with scouting and combat, the US military created a really impressive robot called the Swords. At that time, this innovation was a great deal because it represented a significant technological advancement in military robotics. However, soon after its launch, China, which had been on the heels of the United States in developing military technology, decided they wanted to get in on the action. That was how they invented their robot, the Sharp Claw, which was better in many ways than the Swords. This was a blatant slap in the face for the United States, as they had dominated the world of manned equipment over the years. So, bent on taking back their glory, they made an even more advanced and modified robot called the Mars. This Mars robot could do even more than the Sharp Claw, showing that the US wasn't going to let China take the lead that easily. On the other hand, China wasn't about to let the US get ahead, so they kept developing robots, which made the rivalry between the two countries even stronger. It was like an arms race with robots instead of bombs and missiles. Both sides were determined to be the global leaders in this new, so they continuously devised great designs. In 2016, the US military upped their game by creating the very first military robot dog, called Spot, through the help of Boston Dynamics, a company that is for their advanced robotic creations. Spot was different from some of the US military's previous robot inventions in key ways. First, it had a super mobile and agile four-legged design inspired by how actual dogs move. This enabled Spot to navigate all kinds of terrain and obstacles much better than earlier robots with wheels or tracks. Additionally, Spot had some impressive autonomous capabilities. It was loaded with sensors, cameras, and intelligent software that let it navigate and behave more independently compared to older military robots that needed a lot of remote control. Another advantage Spot had was its size and versatility. Unlike some of the bulkier single-purpose military robots from before, Spot was smaller and more adaptable. This made it useful for various jobs, like reconnaissance, surveillance, and even carrying equipment. With this invention, the United States was obviously winning this race, but suddenly, the tides turned that same year with China's release of the Unrivaled B1, which was made possible by Unitree Robotics, a company that specialized in building four-legged robots. The Unrivaled B1 robot was pretty impressive. For one, it was useful in different environments as it could work in different weather conditions. It was also strong enough to carry heavy loads and had room to add extra parts and gadgets. The Unrivaled B1 was also really smart. With its high-quality cameras, depth sensors, and a special 360-degree laser system called LiDAR, it could easily understand its surroundings and navigate its environment. Plus, the Unrivaled B1 had a lot of computing power. This meant it could process all the information from its sensors and cameras and make smart decisions about what to do. It could also provide very accurate information about its environment and figure things out on its own without needing someone to control it. This was a huge leap for China as it placed them far ahead of the United States. Interestingly, after making the first Unrivaled B1, the team at Unitree Robotics kept working to make even better robot dogs. Then a few years later, China came up with another version of a military robot dog called Robo-Dog, similar to Spot. After that, the US invented the LS-3 robot. But as you would rightly guess, China made a massive comeback in October 2022 with a remarkable new robotic dog equipped with a powerful machine gun specifically designed for combat and warfare operations. In the video released by a private Chinese military contractor, Kestrel Defense Bloodwing, observers witnessed how this robotic system could be deployed in combat. The way it worked was that a drone would first fly in and deliver the robot dog to a strategic location, such as the roof of a building. Once the drone departed, the robot dog would stand up, its machine gun becoming active and ready to survey the surrounding area for potential enemies. According to Kestrel, the key advantage of this system was that it allowed for three-dimensional attacks, where the robot dog would vulnerable positions behind enemy lines, or to take control of important elevated areas like rooftops, providing a new way to strike at the enemy from unexpected angles and higher vantage points. What was particularly impressive was the firepower this robot dog could handle. First, the robot was equipped with the QBB-97, a lightweight Chinese design capable of firing 650 rounds per minute with an effective range of 400 meters. To enhance its ability, the gun was designed with a bullpup layout and used a new 5.8mm intermediate cartridge. And apart from the machine gun, this robot could also be equipped with other heavy weapons like automatic rifles or grenade launchers and other heavy firepower on its back. It was surprisingly fast, reaching up to 14.5 kilometers per hour, and most surprisingly, could operate in all kinds of terrains, which is a great deal, as soldiers would no longer have to be personally present in dangerous missions. But guess what? China said the battle for dominance was not over until they said so. So in late 2023, Unitree Robotics made an updated version of the Unrivaled B1 they had released earlier in 2016. And by all indications, this new version was far better. One of the biggest changes was that the B2 was a lot faster. It could run at over 6 meters per second, making it the fastest industrial robot dog out there. The engineers also made it a lot more agile with the ability to jump 1.6 meters and step over obstacles 40 centimeters tall. This meant the B2 could get around really well, even in tricky situations. Another big improvement was that the B2 got a lot stronger. The old B1 robot could only carry 20 kilograms while walking, but with the upgrade, the B2 could carry 40 kilograms while walking and up to 120 kilograms when standing still. This extra strength meant the B2 could do much heavier work. The B2 also had a long-lasting battery. On a single charge, it could walk for over 5 hours if it wasn't carrying anything. And even with a 20-kilo load, it could still walk for more than 4 hours before recharging. The engineers also upgraded the joints and motors in the B2's legs, making it 170% more powerful than the old B1 model. To test its strength and stamina, it was made to walk up and down the staircase, go backward and sideways, climb up slopes that were 45 degrees, and walk on very slippery surfaces, and through it all, it remained upright and balanced. The engineers equipped it with advanced sensors like cameras, depth sensors, and a special laser system, LiDAR, to help it accurately map and navigate its environment safely. These advancements made the robot even more effective than the average human, but China wasn't done yet. To the utmost shock of military analysts, adding to their already growing army of robots, in a recent military exercise between China and Cambodia, tagged Golden Dragon 2024, the Chinese army showed off a new robot with an automatic rifle mounted on its back. According to Chen Wei, one of the Chinese soldiers, this robot is a real game changer for their urban combat operations. As it can go places that human soldiers can't, it can scout out the enemy and take them out without putting any of their own troops at risk. To further corroborate what he said, a video was released where the robot was shown walking around, jumping up and down, and even moving backward, all while being remote controlled by someone stationed elsewhere. At one point, the robot was even shown leasing a group of human soldiers into a building. Not only that, but in that same video, the Chinese army revealed they had added a drone with 6 helicopter-like propellers and an automatic gun attached to their army of robotic dogs. It's amazing and at the same time scary to see how advanced military robots have become. Who would have thought that an army would be built from robots? We can't wait to see the other inventions that China has up its sleeves. But with this latest release, can you say they have taken the trophy, or should we expect a comeback from the United States? What are your expectations in this ongoing race? Kindly air your thoughts in the comments. Also, leave us a like and don't skip the video that just popped up on your screen. You'll love it.